This is River, and I'm back with Lesson 13 from A Course in Miracles. Lesson 13 is a meaningless world engenders fear. A meaningless world engenders fear. Today's idea is really another form of the preceding one, except that it is more specific as to the emotion aroused. Actually, a meaningless world is impossible. Nothing without meaning exists. However, it does not follow that you will not think you perceive something that has no meaning. On the contrary, you will be particularly likely to think you do perceive it. Recognition of meaninglessness arouses intense anxiety in all the separated ones. It represents a situation in which God and the ego challenge each other as to whose meaning is to be written in the empty space that meaninglessness provides. The ego rushes in frantically to establish its own ideas there, fearful that the void may otherwise be used to demonstrate its own impotence and unreality, and on this alone it is correct. It is essential, therefore, that you learn to recognize the meaningless and accept it without fear. If you are fearful, it is certain that you will endow the world with attributes that it does not possess and crowd it with images that do not exist. To the ego, illusions are safety devices, as they must also be to you, who equate yourself with the ego. The exercises for today, which should be done about 3 or 4 times for not more than a minute or so at most each time, are to be practiced in a somewhat different way from the preceding ones. So what they're going to ask us to do is to close our eyes, repeat the idea for the day, which is a meaningless world engenders fear, and then we're going to slowly look around us and say out loud, I am looking at a meaningless world. I am looking at a meaningless world. And then there's an ending statement that I will do at the end of our practice period. So we're going to practice together. So go ahead and close your eyes. And this is going to be a minute-long practice period, okay? So close your eyes and repeat the message for the day. A meaningless world engenders fear. And then open your eyes and begin looking around slowly while saying, I'm looking at a meaningless world, over and over again. Okay, that's been about a minute, and close your eyes again, and you can repeat after me. A meaningless world engenders fear because I think I am in competition with God. A meaningless world engenders fear because I think I am in competition with God. And you can open your eyes again. I'm going to read the ending part. You may find it difficult to avoid resistance in one form or another to this concluding statement. Whatever form such resistance may take, remind yourself that you are really afraid of such a thought because of the vengeance of the enemy. You are not expected to believe the statement at this point and will probably dismiss it as preposterous. Note carefully, however, any signs of overt or covert fear which it may arouse. And then they go on to say this is their first attempt at stating an explicit cause and effect relationship of a kind, which you are very inexperienced in recognizing, and do not dwell on the concluding statement. It's recommended that we practice 3 or 4 times today, closing our eyes, saying the statement of the day, a meaningless world engenders fear, and then opening our eyes and looking around and saying, I'm looking at a meaningless world. And then we're going to add the concluding statement. We're not going to dwell on it except when we say it during the practice period. The concluding statement again is, a meaningless world engenders fear because I think I am in competition with God. I do notice a little bit of fear coming up in me with that statement. A little fear of kind of a knowing that I have replaced what is loving with what's fearful, that I have had fearful thoughts and they have come to be in my experience something fearful. I have experienced many fearful events that I know were my deep beliefs that brought it forth, and it's like, wow, I feel a little fear that I have interjected something where I thought nothing was, instead of I guess we're not supposed to dwell on it, so we're not going to dwell on it, but I'm just noticing that I am noticing a little bit of just a subtle fear in that concluding statement. And it doesn't say to do anything with the fear if you notice it coming up. It just says to notice it. It's not like we have to judge it or dwell on it or wonder why we feel any fear with that statement. We don't even have to bring love to it. It's like, I think the less we do and the more we just notice, the better. So that concludes lesson 13. I hope this was helpful, and I wish you all the best on your journey today, wherever you are, and the discipline, again, to remember the practice periods 3 or 4 times today. See, it says to practice just 3 or 4 times, and for no more than a minute. Thank you for joining me. I again wish you the best, and moments of peace in your day. Take care.